Welcome to the Citizen TV News Brief. I'm Victoria Rubadiri, our sign language interpreter. This afternoon is Wilson Mushora. Now, the Ministry of Health has today reported the 66 new COVID-19 cases are the highest number recorded in a single day since the first case in March. The 66 new cases that include 64 Kenyans have taken the total tally in the country to 1,029. Restrictions on movement in and out of Eastleigh and Old Town in Mombasa have also been extended until the 6th of June. CS Mutahi Kagwe made the announcement at a briefing where he received donations of 2 mobile testing labs from the government of Germany.
The number of cases today actually was the highest since the pandemic began at 66 persons, with 64 of those being Kenyans and 2 of them and 2 others being foreign nationals. We have also continued to see the rise across the counties, and therefore, arising from this situation, and in order to contain further spread of the virus, the National Emergency Response Committee on Coronavirus announces and directs as follows. A is an extension of the cessation of movement in and out of Eastleigh in Nairobi until Saturday, the 6th of June 2020. B, an extension of the cessation of movement in and out of Old Town, Mombasa until the 6th of June 2020. In addition to that, the malls, the eateries, restaurants are supposed to remain closed and hawking prohibited until Saturday, the 6th of June 2020.
Today, I have the honor to assist in handing over 2 COVID-19 mobile testing labs, which are provided through German support by the East African community to Kenya. This cooperation will reinforce Kenya's testing capacities, as the PS said, and as you know, testing is key to flatten the curve. COVID is a crisis that tests our humanity in the way we treat each other. COVID is also a test for governments everywhere. I'm sure of one thing: we can only beat the pandemic if we work together.
Now, the price of fruits and vegetables are set to rise following the closure of the Kenya-Tanzania border. Agriculture CS Peter Munya stated that the country is not food secure, and the situation could be compounded further with the standoff between the two nations.
In fact, if you look at the aspirations of the agriculture growth and transformation strategy, is to help us become 100% food secure. We aren't. First of all, we don't produce enough food to feed ourselves. We have to import food. Now, in the current situation with the COVID-19, there are constraints, very many constraints in the supply chain that make it quite difficult to bring in the food that is supposed to come from outside, at the same time also access what is outside, what is within the country. And that's why I've told you there is already a committee and a situation room that helps us monitor the food situation weekly, and we get reports weekly to ensure that that food is available.
And the Council of Governors now want the national government to release COVID-19 funding to enable counties adequately prepare to deal with the pandemic. COG Chairman Wycliffe Oparanya said the delay in disbursement of 5 billion shillings meant for the counties was hampering preparedness and management of COVID-19 infections in the counties. Now, 22 of the 47 counties have already recorded positive cases. On health personnel, Oparanya says 3,000 new officers have already been recruited across the country.
Despite 22 counties registering COVID-19 patients, the national government is yet to disperse the 5 billion shillings to the county government that His Excellency the President announced as support towards the fight against COVID-19. We call upon the National Treasury to urgently disperse these funds.
And elsewhere, a section of leaders from Meru region have come to the defense of embattled Senate Deputy Speaker Kithure Kindiki, led by Meru Senator Mithika Linturi. The legislators said the planned impeachment against Kindiki was malicious and asked the proponents to drop it. The leaders described Kindiki as a loyalist who served the country with total dedication.
Kindiki was the dirty in the house, if that is what you think, then Kindiki is not just himself. Kindiki represents the Mount Kenya East people in government. So we are on that. Yes, we want to continue being dirty that way. We have no apologies for being dirty after successfully supporting him to be president.
So tunataka kuuliza rais hivi. Sisi kama watu wa Mount Kenya East, tumekosea wapi? Tumekuwa uchafu kwa hii nyumba ya Jubilee ama tumekosea wapi? Kwa sababu ingekuwa mzuri kama vile alituita akatukalisha chini akatuambia nipigieni kula kama watu wa Mount Kenya East. Saizi pia angetuita atukalisha chini atuambie nyinyi watu wa Mount Kenya East kula yenu imemaliza kazi, sasa edeni mkatafuta nyumba nyingine ya kukaa.
Watu wale wanamsingira, wanamkosesha njia. President angetaka aketi chini na afikirie ni watu gani walimweka kwa hiyo kiti. Some of those people who purports to be supporting the president ni wale wamekuwa hapa hata wakitupia wakipiga hii parliament na maji na kila kitu.
Ni kutafutia nafasi wale ambao wamefika. Hawana pa kwenda. Hawana viti ya kupatiwa. Kwa hivyo lazima watafutiwe. Si ati Kindiki amefanya makosa yote.
African leaders want the continent to be involved as a partner in providing solutions for the global post-COVID-19 economic recovery. The cross-section of leaders, who included heads of state, captains of industry, and technocrats drawn from across the continent, said Africa has the competencies and resources to support the world recover from the coronavirus health crisis. The leaders, who included President Uhuru Kenyatta, Senegal's Macky Sall, and Alassane Ouattara of Ivory Coast, spoke during a virtual meeting convened by the New York Forum Institute. Speaking at the meeting, whose theme was Resilient World, an African Call for a New World Order, President Kenyatta asked the international community to view and treat Africa as an equal partner.
African continent, that our success in defeating this particular disease is going to be based both on our individual country responses, but more importantly, on our collective response as a continent, because that ultimately, given the porous nature of our borders, we need each other in order to overcome this particular problem. So the international community itself also has an obligation to support this continent of ours in our endeavor to defeat this disease, and we are also appealing that this is not the time for blame game. This is the time to find solutions, find the vaccines, get the economies open. Our countries are today, much more than ever before, dependent on the global economy, and the continued shutdown has affected many of our diverse industries where our bread and butter as a continent is, be it in Kenya, horticulture, tourism, be it mining in other countries.
All right. Now, the World Bank has approved a 1 billion equivalent of 106 billion shilling loan for Kenya to support the budget. The funds will be used to bridge the budget deficit occasioned by the reduced tax collection due to the coronavirus pandemic. The loan comes 2 weeks after the IMF approved 76 billion shillings in emergency financing to help Kenya respond to the economic shock caused by the pandemic, a move which has supported the shilling currency. Now, Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani hailed the disbursement, terming it a testimony of the confidence levels the World Bank has in Kenya's new policy reforms.
$1 billion, equivalent of 100 and maybe 607 billion Kenyan shilling, will be for budget support. When you say budget support, all the undertakings that we wish to carry out in the course of time, including increased expenditure for Ministry of Health, including supporting the vulnerable segment in the society, like the elderly and the rest, including people who have been seriously affected by this pandemic. They are all within the framework of the budget.
ODM leader Raila Odinga says the drafting of the BBI document is in high gear, even as he assured women that their proposals will be considered. He said this as he met a section of Embrace Women Lobby Group members together with Gender CS Professor Margaret Kobia. Odinga further disclosing that they also discussed post-COVID-19 recovery strategies that will be crucial in resuscitating the economy battered by the effects of the pandemic.
This is part and parcel of the discussions which have been going on during the Building Bridges initiative. And as you know that right now, the drafting of the final document is at a very advanced stage, and the concerns that were raised by this team is to ensure that the issues that are affecting women are actually captured in the final document, which is going to be released shortly. We, myself and President Uhuru Kenyatta, did agree that we want to bring the country together, to bring the people of Kenya together to think as one people, to deal with issues of ethnicity, issues of gender inequality, issues of disability in our country, so that our country can be able to achieve and realize its potential, so that we can be able to realize the Kenyan dream as coined by the founding fathers of our nation, which talks of a God-fearing nation, where justice is our shield and defender, where we live in unity, peace and liberty.
Now, some journalists who masqueraded as Citizen TV reporters were today arraigned in a Nakuru court. The trio, Peter Manjao Kariuki, Doreen Waiganjo, and Gidaika Karari, also faced charges of attempting to obtain money by false pretense. The trio denied the charges and were directed to pay a personal bond of 100,000 shillings. The case is set to be mentioned on the 29th of July 2020 for further direction. The three were arrested on Tuesday afternoon in Pipeline, Nakuru, after they attempted to defraud ex-Nakada chair John Mutudo of 13,000 shillings.
Of Kenya shillings 100,000 and one charity of similar amount for a cash bill of Kenya shillings 50,000 each. That these persons will be issued witness statements at their own cost. The matter shall proceed in court number 8.
Now, former Lands Minister Amos Kimunya has been set free by a magistrate's court over fraud-related charges. Magistrate Felix Kombo dismissed the charges against Kimunya and his co-accused on grounds that the prosecution failed to prove its case. The Kipiriri MP was charged with allocating public land to Midlands Limited, a company associated with him in 2005 when he served as a lands minister. He was charged alongside Lilian Wangiri, a former director of land adjudication and settlement within the lands ministry, who also faced a breach of trust charge. Meru County Health Department says its officials have quarantined 11 people who came into contact with the first case of COVID-19 in the county. While speaking at Meru National Polytechnic while receiving protective equipment donated by the Meru National Polytechnic County CEC for Health, Mishek Mutuma said the 11 include relatives of the lady who tested positive. Mutuma has also urged any person who could have come into contact with the case in Meru to voluntarily come out to be quarantined and tested.
You are hearing that procedure? I think you have to quite okay. Michael Maharji, Madam Division from Meru National Polytechnic. Their positions started. Staff, you are vocational visitors.
I have been very much concerned about the quality of sanitizers we have in the market. Some are not of good quality, but I'm happy. Here we have sanitizers made by experts, which are of very good quality. Therefore, I'm requesting Mwalim, and members of this facility to make more and more, so that now we can be able to sell quality materials to our people.
Now, to a story that will come as a surprise or not, many people in remote areas in Baringo are still not aware of COVID-19 3 months after the first case of the virus was announced in the country. According to World Vision, locals who are living in remote parts of the county are not privy to the virus since they can't access information sources. World Vision's project officer for water and hygiene, Gerald Ndirangu, says the fight against the virus still faces setbacks since locals in Tiati and Baringo sub-counties cannot access information about the virus. He spoke when the agency donated water tanks and sanitizers to the county government.
Yeah, you realize that actually many people do not have information on this COVID-19. Last week we went to Tiati and you realize that even the radio you're talking about does not reach there. The TV you're talking about does not reach many people. So the information you're getting through radio, the TV is not there. So we have to go out of our way and ensure that we're able to reach such people so that they also have the same information like any other person who has an advantage of actually the TV and the radio.
We want to appreciate on behalf of the county government the World Vision that they have worked with us the journey. They are assisting us in the Department of Education in creating awareness on the aspect of distance and the need for washing hands and being clean. They are also assisting us in mitigating the issue of flood in the lower parts of Baringo South and also parts of Baringo North.
And to some international news, Brazil has become the country with the third highest number of confirmed coronavirus infections in the world after registering a total of more than 250,000 cases. Experts say insufficient testing might mean that the real figure in Brazil could be 15 times higher. Well, the country's far-right president, Jair Bolsonaro, has dismissed the risks and compared COVID-19 to, quote, a little flu. While fresh graves were being dug in a massive cemetery in Brazil's largest city on Tuesday. According to the Brazilian Health Ministry, there are now 16,792 people in Brazil who have died from the outbreak, with Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro the worst hit cities. All right, and at 16 minutes past the hour, that's the very latest from the Citizen TV newsroom. Thanks for watching. I'm Victoria Rubadiri. Our sign language interpreter this afternoon has been Wilson Mushora. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.